Hi, Scorpio. Thanks for tuning in to your yes or no question with the pendulum today. We're going to start by taking some deep cleansing breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Get ourselves focused and grounded, really relaxed. We want to focus on a question and we want to phrase it yes or no could be the answer. So go ahead and get that question, something that's been bothering you, something that you need clarity on, something that pops into your mind a little too often. Now, the way we read this is if it swings from the top to the bottom, that's your yes answer. Left to right would be no. Staying in the middle means either we need to rephrase the question or the answer cannot be given to us at this time, either because of free will, or it's not at the point that there's an actual outcome yet. All right, so let's get this taken care of, Scorpio. Let's see what your answer is. It's not doing much of anything, Scorpio. Rephrase your question. Okay. I'm not surprised that this happened because this is the third time I've tried to do your reading with the pendulum, and for different reasons, the reading didn't come out clearly, or there was computer issues, what have you. So this is the third time I've tried to do it, and this is the third time that it sat pretty much stationary, except for my jiggling. Let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards, and we're going to get some clarification for you guys today. Because when it swings, yes or no, there's no doubt that it's swinging. A lot of that bouncing back and forth was me. Here we have denial. As well as message. The bottom of the deck, we have oath. We're going to pull some more oracle cards right off the bat before we do the tarot for clarification. Energy I'm getting is the same as with the other three readings, or the other two readings that I was trying to do. There's something very, very heavy that is weighing on your mind. It can go either way at this point. Part of you is in denial over the outcome that you don't want to deal with. You've taken an oath with this person. This could be a marriage. This can be a business partnership. This can be a family member, parent, child, sibling, someone that you promised to take care of and to stand by. Nope. Very intense energy, very dark, not like dark bad energy, but dark heavy energy, if you notice the colorings. We have be yourself. With denial. So you have to be true to yourself. You have to know who you are. You have to look at it from a perspective of how would you advise your best friend or your family member if they were in this situation? What words of wisdom and guidance would you give them? And it's really easy to give advice, but sometimes it's really hard to take advice. And if you're not taking your own advice that you would give to someone else, you have to really think about why. What is keeping you there? What is keeping your energy attached to this situation? What oath or promise did you make that you feel that maybe you can't fulfill anymore, or it's too toxic or taxing and you're feeling overwhelmed, but you made the oath anyways? I want to get a clarification here on message, and we have love is your energy. So what you're doing is for the greatest good. You're putting everyone else above your own wants and needs, even if it's draining you. You're doing it because you love these people, this person, but you're not listening to the message that they're giving. And your message is love, acceptance, guidance, and help. But if they're not able to take that message and use it to help their situation, there's really not much you can do. They have to be open to it. They have to want to change. They have to want to face their demons. And as we all know, facing our demons can be really, really scary. At the bottom of the deck, we have calm is not a weakness. Okay, so that's important for us to know as well, because just because you're not going out there gangbusters on this like you think you should maybe, or how other people think you should, and you're remaining calm in a situation that's very, very confusing. It seems like every day there's a new message coming in about either some gossip or some situations in which you can't control, because it's someone else that's in control of this energy right now. They're making all the moves and you're just kind of on the defense. But the pendulum didn't say yes or no. It's not saying anything in regards to an outcome, which means that the outcome hasn't been written yet. The journey is not over. But they want you to stay calm. They want you to stay in the love energy. They want you to love yourself, take care of yourself, because you can't give from an empty cup. Listen to the messages honestly. Here we have the 8 of Cups in reverse, and that talks about not walking away. We have something falling on the floor. And that is the 5 of Cups. And that talks about reflection. So you think about walking away quite often. You think about escaping the situation. You think about packing all your stuff and just booting out of town, getting a new job somewhere else, starting fresh. You contemplate this. This is not something that you haven't thought of, which is probably the advice that you would probably give someone else, is to bug out and let them figure it out on their own. Yeah, say here's the 3 of Wands, and that's looking towards your future. So you are contemplating getting out of this situation. Now, when we have the Oath card, like I said, it does talk about marriage, business situations, taking care of people that you love, whether it's your family members, your kids, your siblings. But you have to remember that the first oath you took was to yourself, was for your journey. And you have to honor that as well. So keep that in mind, that you do owe yourself that blessing. We give oaths to other people as we go on our journey. But when we come from the other side to do this schooling that we have here on earth, we took an oath in spirit for our spiritual journey of what we're supposed to learn, the skills we're supposed to develop, becoming a higher vibrational being surrounded by negativity. And how we produce our gifts is our first oath. That's the journey that we're on. You know, you're trying to spread love as a good, positive energy. So let's pull some more tarot cards. Oh, this one's backwards. Oh, now we have the 10 of Wands in the reverse, which just means that you're giving up on a bunch of burdens that's been weighing heavy on you. So realizing what your true oath is going to help you decide what you should and should not do. More cards on the floor for you, Scorpio. And this one is the shadow side. The shadow side is the fear card in other decks. So even if you do release some of those burdens, it doesn't automatically release the fear and the fear of not having control over the situation. Okay, that also is represented with the 8 of Cups in reverse, is not having control of the situation, but not walking away from it either. Don't be in denial with the messages that you get. Be yourself in all aspects. No one can ask anything more from you than you living and being in your righteous energy at times of conflict. Like they said, calmness is not a weakness. Just because you can keep a clear head in the midst of some really big moments does not mean that you're not doing what you need to do. Just because you're calm, it's not a weakness. And if people think that's a weakness, then they're going to be very mistaken with you guys, right? Here, like I said, not having control over the situation with the King of Cups in reverse. This is also emotional control. You know, when you give up some of your burdens, you're allowing someone else to pick up the slack with those burdens. And that is a relief in one aspect, but it also can cause some serious fear and anxiety when you allow someone else to pick up the slack. And it's probably their own slack, because usually we take on burdens that don't even have anything to do with us, but because other people can't stand up and meet all their obligations, we step in and help them out. A lot of times we will overdo it because they're not able to function at that level. And we can do for us and other people. So when we do that, in one aspect, we're helping, in one aspect, we're hurting, because they're not allowed to develop the skills that they need to take on their own burdens. And when we release some of the burdens back to them and tell them that they need to handle these situations because this is their business and you can guide them and love them and, you know, all that good stuff, but they really need to be proactive in their own life. You know, it can give us some fear of letting them go out there and make these decisions without you being in control. But it also gives them the opportunity to grow within their own journey, just like we were allowed to grow in our own journey. I'm going to do is some more clarification on denial and be yourself to see if we can get any more guidance on that. This is not what we needed. We get 2. We have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse, and then we have the Hermit card. This is talking about following a different path, seeing things differently, having the wisdom of the hermit who has gone within, been centered, you know, read all the books, talked to all the people, you know, when you and downloaded all the information. And the information provided at this time was being in the 6 of Pentacles energy, which means Don't be so gracious. Don't be so helpful. If you see that they're struggling and you know they can do better, but they don't, you don't have to keep giving them your hard-earned coins while they don't try to make their own coins, when they don't try to better themselves in their own energies and their own journey in their own lifestyles. It's not going to be a popular decision for you. It's not, because they're going to ask, why aren't you going to keep doing the same things you've been doing all along to make their lives easier while you take on their burdens, while they don't even try to figure out what their life journey is, or to get out of the messes that they keep getting themselves into. I think this is a lot of tough love going on right here. You've contemplated this, you've seen your visions in different aspects where you're free of the silliness and their drama, the toxic situation. It hurts within your soul with the King of Cups in reverse. I mean, it's really cheering you up to make this decision. But if something doesn't pan out on their end, which I believe reflected back on your question, because it's still on, it's not written yet in stone as to which way they're going to go, you're going to have to pull back a little bit and see what they do. I mean, you contemplated this a long time, and your clarifier is the Ace of Cups, where love is your energy in the message. So you continue with your message of love, you continue with your message of support, but you also put some boundaries around how much you're going to give now, because you need to make sure that you take care of you first. And it's not always about them, in the respect of, if they can't help themselves or won't help themselves, you can't keep bailing them out anymore. And at the very bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Cups in reverse as well, to go with the King of Cups. Oh my gosh, and look, we have the Three of Wands again. Excuse me, this is the Two of Wands, and this is the Three of Wands. So there's all kinds of energy right here about you going and finding your path, being true to yourself, knowing your morals, knowing your code, and really living within your truth, and allowing this to pan out the way it's supposed to. It's going to have some really icky moments emotionally, because you do have to step away and watch them kind of stumble, possibly fall, and not be their savior in the aspect that you were in the past. You did take an oath with them, but you also took an oath with yourself and your own journey, which is what's indicated here. You're fighting yourself on what to do, and you are going to make the right decisions with the 2 and the 3. You're going to move forward in that aspect of what is best for you, but you're also wise enough to know when to pull back on the help and being gracious to them and be accommodating to them. You're going to pull that back, because you know that they need to learn some of these things on their own, and it's going to be icky in the emotions department. The King and the Queen of Cups, both in reverse. You know, you're going to live your life the way you're supposed to, and give of your heart and of your love energy to all that come in your zone. You're going to listen to the messages of your heart so that you know what next steps to take, and you'll listen to your intuition as well. So this makes a lot of sense as to why your reading for the Pendulum was really, really hard to get a grasp on it, because the energy you're dealing with, whether this is your, well, it's definitely a loved one, but if it's your spouse, your kids, your siblings, something along those lines, it's hard for you to let go and let them figure it out on their own. You're still going to be there to kind of cushion their fall, but you can't pick up all the pieces. You have to allow them to pick up pieces when they get into trouble, so they learn how to deal with the bigger picture in the end result. And it's going to be really hard. There is a new beginning, the 1 and the 2. So know that you'll be stepping in the right direction, and listen to your intuition. Your oath now has boundaries. You're no longer what I like to call like the doormat, where everyone just comes to you and you fix everything. They need to start fixing things on their own right now. And this is very important. They're not going to like it, but it's going to be worth it in the end. So Scorpio, hang in there. let me know how things are going. We will follow up with some more cards real soon. So look for your monthly and see if that gives you any clarification as well. Thank you guys. Take care.